And we are live. And you are live. And you are live. And you are live. And you are live. What do poets do? How do poets dance? Like, what's their popular dance style?
I doubt. I doubt. That
No, they
boring
don't dance.
dance.
They have words, right?
Yeah, but I guess with
Yeah, well,
videos.
but yeah, I think snapping is more appropriate. And we are live on a Friday. Good afternoon to you and yours, man, and welcome to it. We call this almost a clinical Monday. Wow, we call this it's a wrap. This is where we wrap up the biggest conversations that we're making headlines all around the LGBTQI plus community, and we get to also dive in a little bit deeper to what our guest is doing in their field of work. And today it is no exception for this episode of It's a Wrap for Pop in Chat. So my name is Nkosi. Thank you so much for joining us. We are live on Oran Popin's Facebook page and also on www.popin.org. That's the behind the scenes for you. Make sure that you pop in into our website. And also on Instagram, it is at popin. On Twitter, it is at in_health with the hashtag It's a Wrap. And you can also find us on YouTube, on our YouTube channel. It is at Oram Pop. And also on TikTok, make sure that you follow our team. It is at Oram Pop. And today, I have an amazing individual who is are they strangers? Have I ever spoken to you? See, now I'm exposing myself. I think this is the first time I'm speaking to you. I think, our relationship outside work, we talk to each other, quite a lot of times. But I think on the platform is your first time, right?
Yes.
Yes. All right. Today I'm talking to, in my opinion, I think they'll add on, poet, human rights activist, and pride organizer. And their name is Mpya. Sally, good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us. How are you doing?
Afternoon V. Thank you. I'm doing great. And yourself?
I'm doing amazing. You keep breaking that. I don't know if it's my audio or what. I'm happy. So yeah, but let's go on and see how best we can make use of keeping well. I hope you are fine. Anything that I have not added into your bio, because I just said poet, I said human rights activist, I said pride host or pride organizer slash host, because you do host Hamas Crowd Pride. Anything that you would like to throw into the basket of your bio?
I would say a businesswoman,
You
a
say
writer besides a poet,
writer, author,
a mother,
yes,
a lover,
yes, of course.
yeah, and a guitar. And yeah.
Yeah. I want to throw in author as well, because there's a book in somewhere in your shelves there that you've
In
authored,
between.
but we'll get to speak to that a little bit later on. So if you have any questions for myself or for Sally, or you want to add into the conversation, you can do so by leaving your comments in the comment section, and we'll take it as we go. Today for the headlines, we are looking at two of the headlines, or rather two stories that have made headlines. The first one, it is We Will March. This comes after the US Embassy has sent out a statement speaking to possible terrorist attack that will happen this weekend at Pride. So we will then touch on that, and then also look at the ACDP that demands removal for the Cape Town Pride Rainbow Crossing. And well, with that said, those will be our those will be then our sort of like headlines for today. So if you have any questions or you want to add on, please do so, and we'll then later on talk to I'm getting distracted, Sandy.
I'm not sure. I think I've lost you there.
Apologize about that. And then later on, all right, we back. technically I'm not doing great. Sally, can you hear me?
Yeah, no, network is a challenge,
Network is, I think it's because of load shedding. Sally, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you now.
All right. Perfectly. Let's just dive into it because I'm trying to look at where is my distraction. It's not from my device, so I think our network is a bit terrible. But we will match. I know that you have familiarized yourself with the statement that has been taken out by Africa Pride and Joburg Pride. This comes after the U.S. Embassy has said there's possible terrorism attack. In my view, that statement reads as Pride organizers saying attendees come and attend Pride at your own risk because we don't want to cancel it. What are your views with that story?
I would say it's been whether it's real or what. But I think that attendees should be protected at all costs.
Sally, we need to start that again. I can see you visually, or I'm getting you perfect on visuals, but I'm struggling with your sound. Please, let's try that again. What do you say is your view?
Testing 1 2. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Let's go.
Right. I was saying that because a terrorist attack. So you never know what will happen. But if you look at especially in the what if their main mandate is finishing kill? And obviously if there's a terrorist attack, they know that at any point there will be a lot of LGBTI gathered at a same place. So the organizers try and implement a lot of protection and caution so that attendees more safe and more at home.
Yeah, I got you. Somebody was saying,
the truth. It must be taken.
Yeah, somebody was saying on their comments while I was reading under the statement, they were saying, why do LGBTQI plus people want to make this potential terrorist attack about them? Because largely, one of the biggest events that are happening in Sandton is Pride. So they're saying, why are we then taking that and making it our own? The people generally who are in Sandton, they should be worried about it, and it should not be a gay pride thing. In terms of human rights, I think that is it is at a certain extent a violation, especially if now we would go on and then something were to happen. For me, that is a violation because we don't know if it's real, we don't know if it's not, and I think we have sort of like taken the mickey out of our head. We're trying to make fun about it, but when we conclude this point, what would you say to the people that want to attend, or the people that are eager to, because today is the last day, tomorrow they are there, they'll be on the street marching. Exactly. So what would you say to them?
Enter at your own risk.
Yeah.
We've never had so many the podcast, and we've never had in the media a statement terrorist attack.
Yeah.
This is basically the first time, and I think it should be taken given what has happened. So I think it should be. So if anybody wants to go there, I would say that go, have fun, but be cautious and be safe.
Yeah, I got you. Somebody was saying, as you're feeling beanie, but I was like, you know what? Each to their own, man. If you want to make fun about it, go ahead. ACDP, one of the parties that really crawl up my skin the wrong way. And you know what? I felt like I need to express this. I really don't, when it comes to what they stand for and and their views, they are quite queerphobic, they are quite homophobic, they are actually all the phobics that we can think of. They go and talk about diversity and how they embrace and welcome diversity, and then they go to say that the Cape Town City should remove the rainbow crossing that is on the street. I think it's in Greenpoint, Sea Point. It's in Greenpoint. So they're saying that it's like now, Sea Point. So to a certain extent, it looks like we are forcing we are forcing being gay onto them, and apparently the city belongs to everybody, including them. And for me, that is quite hypocritical to go on, and release a statement and say we need the rainbow to be removed from the crossroad, just because now the city belongs to everybody else. I think for the rainbow to be on the road, on the street, it is showing inclusivity. And unfortunately, for someone who falls under the LGBTQI plus, who one has just been marginalized just because they fall under that group or that community. Second, that are not afforded the same rights, or their rights are being shunned upon every day. They're being discriminated. So for me, it's a plus, because we are then saying there is visibility and these people are welcome. And then they go and say it needs to be removed. What is your view when it comes to that, especially when they make in their statement that they are embracing diversity, but then they would go on and say that should be removed?
The issue of diversity is it's very, and diversity is acceptance. You can't be diverse and not able to accept. And I'm not speaking about accepting LGBTI people or individuals, but acceptance in general. You'd say the same person that is against our colors is in a religious background or comes from a religious background, you would find that that person is also discriminating their child at home for having a loud mouth, maybe, so for us to understand the concept of diversity, we need to first start at acceptance. And obviously,
I lost Sally there. I lost Sally. Happy, I lost Sally. I don't know if it's from our side, if it's from her side, but if you just joined us, welcome to it. We call this It's a Wrap, and today we are wrapping up the afternoon in looking at two headlines that have, made conversation the entire week. The first one was the statement that was released by Joburg Pride, basically just saying we're not cancelling Pride. Pride is important. It is important for our community. So most definitely, everyone who wants to come through. For me, how I read it is that they're just saying, come at your own risk. If something happens, they're not taking responsibility. If something doesn't happen, then they're not going to. You know what I mean? So it falls with that. So Sally just said, if you're going, go. But hey, make sure that you are careful. Also spoke about the ACDP. We're trying to make a point, or rather have a conversation when it comes to that, to speak to them saying that the rainbow crossing should be removed, in Cape Town, because the city belongs to everybody else. And then they go and they then talk about what's this, diversity, and that they welcome diversity, but then they have a problem with, they are quite homophobic. I think they just need to be called out. And I wanted to tag them on a tweet, but I was like, hey, let me not, jump onto that, because the next thing I know, I'm being called because I tweeted something that is in disagreement with them. And I mean, Twitter is quite deadly if you're not careful. But Sally, we disconnected today a bit. I think we need to do that testing 1 2 again to establish, if we have connection. Let's start that. Can you hear me?
Testing 1 2.
Yes, I got you back. Now let's look at poetry. You are a poet in your other life, or in your other cycle. You quite a good one. Yeah, a good one, I might add. But I think it is quite important, because you identify as a queer woman. Then how does then that poetry relate to you as somebody who identifies as queer?
Before I answer that question, I just technically I get a feedback when I speak.
The reason. Do you have your Bluetooth on? Possibly that could be the reason. Switch the Bluetooth off.
Off.
Do you have another device connected, perhaps?
No.
Everything. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. It could be the echo in the room. Really, at this point.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh. What happened? Okay. You went in and out there.
I think also it could be the network.
Also, are you experiencing load shedding?
Not currently.
Not currently. Okay, go ahead.
Can you kindly repeat that question again?
So the question is, as a queer woman, how do you then relate to poetry?
Poetry helped me identifying the type of person I am.
Ooh, Sally, we are really struggling. Happy, I think we need to end the live here. Sally, we are struggling. No. It's bad. Happy, I suggest that we end the live here with Sally. Probably invite them next week for a more physical chat, because really the network is not doing us justice. Yeah, I think you need to be here. So please pop in Swane for us to do this, because we're not gonna have the live already 16 minutes, but in that so much has been disturbing us, and I cannot really get you through in terms of audio. So let's do that. So let's re-invite everyone to come through to join our live next week, Friday. Let's wrap it up from now. Make sure that you are on our social media platforms. Find us on Twitter, find us on actually everywhere. www.hopein.org gives you the behind the scenes. And Monday, we are talking anal care and STI nurse or clinicians. I'm joined by two clinicians. I'm joined by Bonolo Lehwete from Orampop in Tshwane, and I'm also joined by Mpya from Orampop in eThekwini. Make sure that you are here for that conversation when we speak or shine the spotlight on anal care and STIs. Well, for now, with Sally, we're going to end it here until we revisit this conversation next week, Monday. We have also webinars coming up. Be in the lookout for that, and follow us on all our social media platforms. Until then, happy streaming. Bye.